Hello, everyone, and we are back after a week's hiatus, after a whole bunch of snow and a whole bunch of drama here over with me and everything going on over here. But we're back, and more importantly, we're back for Women's Wrestling March. Are you excited about this, Astrid? 4 shows in March, all covering all women's wrestling shows.
I like the fact that it's my birthday month and it's Women's History Month.
All in one, as if it were planned that way.
Right? I wish.
But no, this month we have the 4 shows. We don't know the exact order of all 4 shows, but we do know what 4 shows we're covering. So we're going to go ahead and drop these now. Obviously, tonight we are covering C4. It is Capital City Championship Wrestling out of Ontario, Canada. Or Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, as I should put it. But next week, and then the last week of the month, we'll be covering either MPX, Girls Who Run the World, that is the Athena-led promoted show, or we'll be covering Eve Pro Wrestling, Riot Girls of Wrestling. We'll be covering Wrestle Queendom. So in the next 3 weeks, we'll cover both of those shows. And of course, we haven't forgot about it. The show we were supposed to cover the last 2 weeks is finally going to be up on the internet next Tuesday, so we can cover it the following week. On the 17th, we'll be joined by Jose on the air as we go ahead and cover Girl Fight Wrestling because Jose was there live. So we're going to get the live view plus our view from watching it online. So we're very excited about this. Lots of women's wrestling coming the entire month of March. So be on the lookout for that. Astrid, we're back north of the border. What did you think overall of the arena here at the Algonquin Commons Theater? What'd you think?
I really like the visual a lot because I know this probably, I don't know if it was the same live. I know you watched a little bit, so maybe you can tell me. I like the fact that they're so close to the ring. The crowd is not close to the ring. You can hear them, but you can't see them. So it's like at least there's some distance there. The crowd was really energetic through the whole night, which I was glad about. There was no match they were not chanting for. The one thing I really liked the most too is that they had nameplates for the girls. Even though I think all of them, almost all of them at this point, and on this card, I was at like 90% of them. I like the fact that they had a name card for them as they were coming out too. So it's like, okay, I'm like, if I don't know who it is, at least that helps me out. But I was familiar with a lot of them too. Some returning faces and some I haven't seen in quite a while. So it was pretty interesting. I like the balance too within the card because we had some like more like heavy hitter matches, some like comedy matches, some more serious. But yeah, overall, I like the balance of everything. So I really enjoy this one.
One of the things I wanted to talk about right off the top was the vibe of the show. And they got the vibe of the show right from the get-go. When the show starts, they bring out the ring announcer. He's going ahead and going over. And by the way, I wish I knew who this man was because I can't find any information about this ring announcer. But he was sensational. Absolutely sensational. He's jumped. I'm sorry, Val. He's overjumped Val. He's my second favorite ring announcer that we've covered so far. I thought he was sensational. I love the way he did all the introductions. I liked how they were all like WWE style, like big fight match entrances where everybody gets their entrance and then they all get introduced at once, as opposed to halfway through their entrance, the guy's trying to go ahead and tell us who it is and we're battling with the music. None of that. The other thing is he comes out and he reads a message from the company. And this set the tone of, I'm going to love this promotion. I'm going to watch more of this promotion, where they run down the rules of we don't want hate of any kind. And they go through all of it. And I'm just like kudos to you. More promotions need to do this because this is how we protect not only the performers, but we protect the fan base. This is the C4 community. It's not a fan base. It's not a universe. It's their community. This is a community of people. Halfway through the show, we find out that one of the super fans of the C4 community had passed away recently. They did a 10-bell salute for Chris. I thought that was really interesting and different because a lot of times fans do pass away, but the wrestling organizations don't always do it. But for certain super fans, I think it's a really great idea. And again, it brings that community aspect back. And like you said, the crowd was hot. The crowd was involved. But that dark lit crowd in what seemed like a legitimate theater. Like, this isn't a wrestling venue. This isn't a gymnasium. This is an actual theater with a stage and a pit. Like, I loved the visual for this. The actual barricade, like metal barricade there to like keep the fans at bay. I love this. Right from the get-go, I was into this show and into all of this. And then we get our first two professional wrestlers of the evening. Tara Zepp taking on top tier Tiara James. We've talked about Tiara James in the WWE ID Women's show. She was on that show as well. And we both had said that we liked what we saw from her, but because there were so many women on that show, we wanted to see her in a more prominent role, in a singles match, get a more of a view of her. However, as much as I wanted to pay attention to Tiara James, and trust me, in this 8 minutes match, I really tried. I was distracted by this young lady, Tara Zepp. Now, Astrid, I've given you a hint. There are 4 female professional wrestlers that I see inside of this professional wrestler, especially with the version we had of her on this show, which includes a pair of jean short shorts. What 4 professional wrestlers are there? You know one because I gave you the answer to one.
Well, I guessed it, but you confirmed that was correct. Let's put it like that. I said the first one was Rosemary, that I could think of when I see her. But you said the other ones, I won't know them, or is it like I won't be familiar with them?
I don't think you'll be able to figure out the commonalities.
Oh, you know the one other one she makes you think of? I forgot her name. Is it Shelly, the one that was the vampire in ECW?
Shelly Martinez is great. I adore Shelly Martinez, but no. I'll put it this way. All 3 of the others are currently on the WWE roster, and they're all on Raw.
All on Raw. Is it Rhea, I'm guessing, is one of them? One
of them is Rhea. Look at her face. Tell me that's not Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, the makeup. Asuka with the makeup, too?
There's one more near and dear to my heart.
To my heart?
The jean short shorts.
Oh, AJ?
AJ Lee. As soon as she came out walking around in those jean shorts, I'm like, oh, look, it's demonic demon AJ Lee.
I can see it. I feel like she could be like the love child of all those people.
But when you, like I said to you before the show, once I tell you these 4 people, you'll never be able to unsee it. All 4 of them are in Tara Zepp, in the way she presents herself, in the way she works. Like, I was enamored by this young lady because she yes, she's pretty, like, but it's beyond that. Like, it's hard to take a character that's not necessarily unique, but make it your own and make it like when I see 4 different professional wrestlers in somebody. That's somebody who's taken 4 other people and kind of put it into one. That could be either really good or really bad. Because trying to pretend to be other people doesn't really work. But she's not pretending to be them. She's taken from them. And I feel like she oozes that Rhea Ripley charisma. She has that AJ Lee really good in-ring style. She wrestles really good like Asuka, but she's got a bit of a strong-styled, arrogant, like aggressive side to her in this match. Like, and of course, you can't look at her and not go, hey, Rosemary. But at the end of the day, she's my one to watch from this entire show because when you're captivated by somebody, for whatever reason, you're immediately drawn to somebody. And that's good and bad. And she performs so well here. But Tiara James is so good. Like, the arrogant heel that Tiara James is, working off of that demonic baby face. I didn't think it was, when I saw the 2 of them married up, I'm like, this isn't going to work. There's no way this match works. And it did. Tiara is so good in the ring. And she's got, and again, as much as Tara's got her gimmick down, Tiara's got hers down too. I mean, that prima donna princess, I'm better than all of you with the mirror and everything. And it's not just in the match where she's got this gimmick down. Anytime she's in the ring, whether the camera's on her or not. And you know it's whether it's on her or not, because they'll cut to her and she'll be in mid-conversation with a fan yelling at them while she's checking herself out in that mirror. Or telling them to check themselves out and how they're not up to her level. Like, she is on lock with this character in this gimmick. I love it. I thought this match was fantastic. It would have been my match of the night had most of the other matches not been sensational matches from top to bottom.
Yeah, this one's gonna be tough to pick match of the night for me. But what I'm glad is that I finally, like, even though I've seen clips of her, this is finally the time that I could see like a full length Tiara match. And this is what I was hoping to see during the WWE ID match, which is the fact that she is such a powerhouse the way she is. And the way she's so confident, as she's like, "Oh, this is the best Canada can offer." Like, come on! I like the way she like goes back to the crowd and talks to them, doesn't care what they respond. She just like talks to them and continue to do what she's doing. I like Tiara. I had seen like her character before. I just hadn't seen her wrestle, so it's very interesting the match and styles of how different they are. And you're like, "Nah, this may not work," but it really does. And with how opposite they are of each other. But I feel like Tiara really stood out more for me here, like being able to showcase herself a little bit more in the powerhouse that she is. At one point, she does like a deadlift, and the way she does her spine buster, which is beautiful to watch as well. At the end, I loved it. I was hoping she would win, but then at the end, Tiara does an elbow drop, and that's what helps her get the win at the end. But again, it's like great match to begin the show with. They already had the crowd going, especially the way they were both going back and forth with the crowd about like, this is what you got to offer, and I really got the crowd going to begin with.
By the way, that's until almost the end of the night. That was probably line of the night. Is this the best Canada has to offer? And I'm just like, I like that. We move on to match number 2. Layla Wilde taking on Dani Leo and Laurel CassieD. Astrid. Laurel CassieD, if I remember correctly, is the one who looked like a rainbow unicorn exploded, right? Like she's got all like the
Yes,
like the sparkles.
let me double
and
check
all
because
of
I
that.
don't have the picture of her in front of me. Yeah,
I was
she
just saying,
reminded me a lot of the Hugger Bailey in that era, a little bit there. So I can see the
Miss
inspiration
Rachel
happening
too.
there.
I was like a rainbow unicorn and Miss Rachel exploded. But
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I loved it. I thought it was a great look. I thought it was very interesting. And again, we both love the Hugger Bailey gimmick. Was one of the better portrayed versions of a white meat baby face that female wrestling has had to offer in a long time. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to continue. I apologize.
No, I'm trying to double check the pictures. I can talk more about their each one of their looks. Is it all three of these were new to me in this match?
Yeah.
Dani, I really like her confidence and her attitude going into this. That's something that really, what really stood out to me more in this match was how Dani was being a heel. I feel like she really has it down on how to be a heel, and she did it exactly during this whole match. And it's something that really stood out to me out of like the three girls. That's the part that really like had like a highlight to me in this the end. Layla though, when I saw Layla, she reminded me a lot of Jordan Grace when I first saw her. So I was like, I like how I feel like I'm looking at Bailey and then Jordan Grace and then Dani in the middle. But I like the combination between all three of them because they're all so different. Again, I feel like that's almost like, I don't want to say like a theme, but it feels like something throughout this whole card. It's like when you see the two people from the beginning, or like all the people participating in the match, you see them and you're like, I don't know how they're gonna mesh with each other, and they do so well. And I don't know how it happens, but they just do so well together. So I was very happy with how this match really turned out. I feel like they really they kept going with the crowd. The energy kept going up from there too, and I feel like Dani was also helping with the way she was being a heel too.
Yeah, Dani Leo reminded me a bit of like a version of a Cora Jade towards the end in NXT. I like that idea. I thought she controlled this match. Like she was the ring vet, like the ring. I don't know who's older, who's not, who's more experienced, who's not. I thought these three really put on a really good match. It was only 6 minutes. And I look at it as I go 6 minutes, and I go, it felt like it was longer than that. Like not in a bad way. It didn't feel like it was 6 minutes short. It felt like it had enough time. I felt like I really got a vibe for each one of these lovely young ladies. I agree. I think Dani Leah was definitely the standout in this match for me. Hello, Melball. Thank you for making it. We greatly appreciate it. I'm sure Melball will be able to give us some information on a bunch of these people as we continue through the show.
I looked it up. I don't see anything on Layla on Cage Match, so we have to do more research on her later. But Lauren says she's been 12 years, and Dani, which I was surprised about, 3 years. I feel like she really has it down for somebody who's been listening so long time. I'm trying to see more about Layla, though. That's the only one that I can find a profile on. But wow, to like think of like somebody, she reminds me a lot of like that Sada Steele kind of thing. Is like the fact that she has been wrestling for so little time, but she has her character down to a T. That I feel a lot of people struggle with them, and they have it already when it comes to that. So they really like that confidence. She already has it. Trying to see if I can find a profile on Layla to see how long she's been wrestling, more or less. But yeah, I'm impressed with Dani even more now, knowing that she's been wrestling for that little time.
Yeah, no, I would have flip-flopped the two of them. I would have thought that Laurel was a more younger individual in the in-ring experience years, and I thought Dani Leah handled herself like a true vet out there. Just like it felt like she was in control of this from beginning to end. I like I said, I thought I loved this match. It's not the best match on the card, but then again, there are so many names that we recognize as this card keeps going. Mm-hmm. It was hard for these three young ladies who we've never heard of before to be able to take that top spot from any of those other matches. But I was enthralled. I enjoyed it. 6 minutes flew by because, like I said, I thought this was closer to it. I didn't think any of these matches were short. I thought all of these matches felt like they were 10+ minute matches. Mm-hmm. So when I looked and saw 6.5 minutes for this match, I was like, that's a surprise. That felt better than that. But you know what? Mm-hmm. If you can get done in 6.5 minutes, what people think you get done in 10, nothing wrong with that. We move on to our next singles match with two new names again for me. Two more new names. Wanda Delrey taking on, now I'm going to butcher this one because I can never pronounce it right no matter how many times I've tried. Azaelle?
I think it's like Azaelle. I think it's how they say it.
Azaelle. Yeah. Azaelle. Mm-hmm. On this card, there were so many big, beefy, strong women on this card. We had Vanessa Kraven, we had Azaelle, we had Layla Wilde.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, I think now that I think about it, I think you're right. I think it was Azaelle, if I remember correctly, now that you said it. Yeah.
I thought this was a fun match. I was surprised because when Azaelle came out, I thought she was going to be the heel. Mm-hmm. And as soon as the match started, I quickly learned that was going to be the opposite. That Wanda Delrey was the heel. Mm-hmm. I was surprised, but I enjoyed that because, and that's the fun thing about dropping into these promotions unknown with not knowing who's who or what's what, is that we do indeed, especially me. I mean, we have it somewhere in the clip section somewhere about me talking about how I'd let Rhea Ripley walk all over me. So there's things like that. But yes, we do love a good muscle mama. I thought this was fantastic. Azaelle did it. It wasn't an elbow drop. I forget what it was. Was it a cutter off the top at one point? Like
sunset T-flip, I think it was what they called it.
Okay, was that what it was? I mean, it was sensational for a bigger gal. Like mm-hmm. She's a bigger gal. Like that takes some effort and some skill to be able to pull that off. So good for her. Wanda Delrey sneaks out of there with the cheaty win. I love that too because it again, even in my independent wrestling, I still want a bit of storytelling. I want, this could move on to this. Like not every wrestling promotion does that, but I like when you do it. And here we have that where we have Wanda Delrey get the cheap, easy victory, and we give a reason to potentially have a rematch.
Yeah, what I love about this one, it reminded me a lot of what I said with Dani earlier. So I wanted to see how long Wanda had been wrestling for, because she is also another person that the way she portrays being a heel was so well done. So I'm curious to see how long she's been wrestling for. The way she just pulls out at one point she pulls the referee onto her so that way she can rate the eyes of Azazel at the same time so the referee can't see. And the referee's like, "What did you do?" I like the referee calling it out too. It's like, and she's like, "Nothing. I didn't do anything." Um, but I love how she uses her heel tactics in such a way that was different from Dani, but she also was able to portray that, and you could really translate that in the ring with her storytelling as well. So I thought it was really well done the way she did everything as a heel. I feel like that really stood out to me in this match as well.
Yeah, Wanda Delrey is absolutely a one to watch in this one. I have to see more of her. Also, her looking a lot like a Kendall Gray really caught my eye too. I feel like there's a lot of Kendall Gray in her with the ring. There was just so much good on this card and so many people reminding me of people that I like. That's the fun thing, is that a lot of the people that I didn't know, I was seeing and going, okay, I see this person in this and I like them, so I'm going to like them too. And it was a lot of fun and interesting things going on. We get to here's a fun thing. I was surprised by this. We have 2 tournament elimination matches that are going to lead into our main event for the first ever C4 Women's Champion. I assumed those matches would start the show. I was shocked to see that they were in the middle of the show.
Yep.
But we had, unfortunately, they were supposed to be 2 fatal 4-way matches, but unfortunately one of the competitors in this first match had come down with something, was unable to attend the show, so it ends up being just a triple threat match with Seleziya Sparx taking on Kristara, the Sweetest Pea, who we covered at Mystery Wrestling last time. And of course, it wouldn't be an all-women's show on Taking Over without talking about Gabby Forza. Because she is everywhere.
Yeah. Even Canada. Can't even, I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I feel like this is another one that I can imagine it was a little bit affected by having somebody that was out from one of the competitors at the excuse at the beginning. But I feel like even if you didn't know about that, you couldn't even tell because they did so well with the storytelling and the building off of each other. So I loved it. I really did. I love watching Kristara, to be honest. She's the one that really my eyes go to her as it is. I love how well she performs. I feel like there's no, I so far haven't been disappointed by her, and I'm really glad. Seleziya, her style is very unique. She does some of her moves that definitely made me laugh as the match was happening. I don't even know how to describe it. It was like it's a handstand, but she's putting wrapping her legs around their heads, and then she's putting their heads on her butt, basically. So it reminded me a little bit of like that Naomi type of move.
I was gonna say it's the Naomi spot, but she does it being held up in the air as opposed to in the turnbuckle.
Yeah, so it's very unique, and like to me, the part that stands out here, it's how long she's able to do that handstand to be able to do such a move like that. So it's very impressive to see that happening there too. I love one of my favorite parts here is that Kristara has a great connection with the crowd too. From the beginning, they're always cheering on for her no matter who's in the match. So this one was very interesting. Aside from that, it's like I feel like they really worked really well off of each other. At one point, Seleziya has a submission, like a double crossface on both of them. And Gabby's able to lift not only herself, but Kristara was in the middle between both of them like a sandwich. And then be able to take both of them down at the same time the way she did. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But again, it's like, I didn't even know what to call it. It's like, I didn't even give it a name during commentary either. So that didn't help me. But yeah, that was something.
By the way, I enjoyed Adam B. and I believe that was Veda Scott on commentary. Am I right?
Correct.
Sounded like her. I know she vlogged that she was there, but like from her vlog, it felt like she was sitting somewhere else that wasn't the commentary table during the show. So I wasn't sure if it was her or not. I Seleziya Sparx. What can you say except I need to see more of this young lady because my God, is she entertaining? It's hard to steal the show from the Nomi and Kristara. Like, those are 2 over-the-top personalities. And Seleziya just brought it. And she leveled up right with them. She felt like she belonged the entire match. I love that they worked together to eliminate her, Gabby and Kristara. And then they go to the typical, what everybody expected to see, which was Gabby and Kristara have 3 minutes wrestling each other. Because that's what we all want. No offense to Seleziya, but we all just wanted Gabby versus Kristara for a few minutes just by themselves. And it's the single match I still need to see. At some point, I still want that full singles match because I think that would be a lot of fun. Gabby's going to get signed someday soon. It can't be much longer for her at this point. I mean, she's ready. She is so ready. The fact that she still has that gap in her teeth from when Channing Thomas knocked her tooth out, and she's just gone with it in a business where your look matters and where most wrestlers would have instantly put in a fake tooth to just keep that beautiful smile that all professional wrestlers need. I mean, hell, we know the old demented man that used to run the place in Stamford, Connecticut said to Ronda Rousey that when you smile, the whole world smiles with you. And while I don't think that that's necessarily true for that individual, I do see that for a lot of other individuals. And when Gabby Forza smiles, everybody just loves Gabby that much more. And when she does it with that gap in her teeth, like, it's just so great that that's part of the gimmick. That's part of who she is. And she's like, I don't care. I don't have to be perfect. I really hope she's part of Lodestone 2026. I know that she was one of Bailey's. Billie mentioned a few by name at one point during an interview, and Gabby was one of the names that was brought up by Bailey herself when it came to standouts that she had at the first Lodestone. So I'm assuming she's going to be signed by, I would hope, WWE or TNA at some point. Imagine her in that Knockouts division as you're rebuilding and retooling this Knockouts division and resetting it. What a Gabby Forza would do to take the spot, that used to be that Jordan Grace spot. Bring in Gabby Forza and let her be that Jordan Grace for that division. Kristara gets the win because of course she does. We're in Ontario, Canada. Of course Kristara got the win. That makes all the sense in the world. But I enjoyed it. Gabby eliminates Seleziya, and then Kristara eliminates Gabby. 12 minutes down. Was fantastic. Didn't need any more time. Didn't need any less time. Perfect. By the way, Astrid also loved this show because this show had no intermission. It was 2 hours and like 15 minutes from top to bottom.
Love to see it.
I was going to say, Astrid's question now, anytime I suggest a show, even if the show hasn't happened yet, is how long is it?
Yes.
I'm like, because there was a show we were planning on doing next week that we're not doing now because it's not an all-women show when we realized that it's March and we could do this. Where she's like, how long is it? I'm like, it's 4.5 hours. And she's like, can we find something else? And I'm like, it's got Willow Nightingale versus Gabby Forza. It's got Kylie Alexa versus Notorious Mimi. And you're like, yeah, but it's 4.5 hours. And I'm like, but it's a trim 4.5 hours.
I know, but think about it this way. I'm used to watching NXT when we do the show. So I'm used to watching a 2-hour show with commercials and everything before we do this.
But you have an entire week to watch this as opposed to watching it right before we go on the air. No, she watches it on Monday. No matter what show I give her, she watches it on Monday.
Hey, my weekends are for my person, okay? Sue me.
Yeah. I'm trying. Don't you worry. I still don't have notes this week. Thank God I took some of my own.
There you go, Mel. Your first reference.
Oh, are you and Mel now talking about how many times I'm going to reference it now that I referenced it like 3 times last week?
Yes.
All right. In our other C4 Women's Fatal 4-Way Tournament round match, we had Ava Lawless taking on Leah Sparx, taking on Vanessa Kraven, taking on Alexia Nicole. It is indeed a natural problem. It is all her fault. It is her problem. Unfortunately, she's making it my problem. Now, did you have fun watching this considering one of the participants in this match called you out on Twitter at one point?
Really? Yes.
She did.
I know.
Before you interviewed her, she did call you out.
Yeah, she did. What I thought was interesting about this, aside from that person calling me out, Vanessa Kraven, I hadn't seen her in quite a while, so that's something that really stood out to me. I had seen her for the Mae Young Classic, and I hadn't seen her after that anywhere like that, so it's nice to see
she was in the Mae Young Classic?
Yeah.
Is this Vanessa Bourne? Oh,
No. Different Vanessa.
Okay. I don't remember her in the Bayern class.
You look up her name just like that, it'll show up.
I'm doing it right now.
Alexia, I had seen her quite a few times online as well. Leah is another one that really stood out for me. I just kept thinking how funny enough when you see them all in the ring, you have Vanessa who was brunette or like darker hair, Alexia with like the bluish thing, and then you have Leah with the pink and Ava with the orange. It's like everybody just stands out in this match because they all look so unique and different. Um, Though another thing that I realized during this match is when I saw Alexia, I went, she's really short. I wonder how tall she is. You want to guess how tall she is?
Which one was this?
Alexia. She's the one with like the blue and white.
Oh, Alexia. Hair. Yeah, Alexia Nicole. She's 5'1", isn't she? Is she taller or shorter than the natural?
She's the same height.
Oh, so she's 5 foot on the dot then.
She's 4'11" too.
Oh, okay. I thought you were 5 feet tall.
I'm not even 5 feet. I wish I was. But I love the fact that even for somebody that is that short, she's so powerful because there was a one point she lifted one of the girls. I don't remember if it was this match or the other one, but the fact that she was able to do that, yeah. And ironically, when you look at her, she looks short, but not that short. If that makes sense, and her being able to like do the way she moves in the ring, I just kept thinking it's like she looks short to me, but I was like I wasn't entirely sure, so that made me laugh when I did see that because I just kept thinking that's just me in the ring if I could be in the ring right now. I love the fact that we start this match with the girls going like, all three of us, Vanessa, let's do it, and then they can't decide who's gonna go first. They're like, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go, and it's like, and then at the end they just push Ava Lawless to the to do it, and Ava barely moves to like an inch, and just like. I love that the fact that made me laugh from the beginning, and that wasn't the only part that made me laugh during the show too, which I'm grateful for as well. But I remember, yeah. So Alexia picks up Vanessa at one point, so that's the part that I went for somebody that tiny. She is very powerful and mighty because Vanessa's the tallest person in this match, so to be able to like lift her as well, I thought was very impressive. Here, Ava is the one that pins Leah towards the beginning of the match, so Leah is the one that gets eliminated first. And then I believe Ava takes advantage and she's able to, I think from Alexia's work, she's able to take advantage and pin Vanessa to eliminate her. And then
Other way around. Alexia pinned Vanessa off of Ava's work.
Yeah. And then Alexia is the one that wins the match at the end. So, yeah, I like the pick here too. I feel like either way, all of them would have been fun. I did like another thing before I forget about it. I love Leah's entrance. The way she's able to like almost looks like she floats from the top rope when she's posing. It looks so freaking cool, that visual. I love that. So I had to point it out before I moved on.
Yeah, the way she balances on that top rope and just sort of like floats there. Yeah, she reminds me of, I don't know if you remember this female wrestler from before the end times, the before times. Candy Floss. With her purple hair, she reminded me of like, because I feel like this Leah Sparxx, I feel like is the type of individual who could necessarily change her hair with all of her outfits and like whatever color she's wearing, her hair color will match the same. And that reminds me of Candy Floss in that way. I know they're not the same and they're very different wrestlers, but I saw that and instantly thought of that. It's great to see two names. I didn't recognize Vanessa Kraven from the Mae Young Classic when she was brand new to me, I thought. But Alexia, Nicole, and Ava Lawless, obviously from our time working with LW, these are names that we've obviously heard of before because they are both Western Canadian. I believe they're both from Western Canada. I know they work out there fairly often. I know Ava's built from Calgary, so I know that she's out that way. I think Alexia was built from Calgary as well. But yeah, no, those are names that we knew of from our time over there with all of our friends over there who work in the Edmonton and Calgary and all that kind of scene. That it was nice to see them both in the ring. I mean, obviously we've seen Ava. Ava's been everywhere, whether it be AEW Dark, whether it be Ring of Honor shows. Whenever they go up that neck of the woods, Ava Lawless seems to always get booked there. I just wish she'd get signed. Again, there are so many of these names where it's like, just sign them already. Like, for the love of God, just please sign these people because they shouldn't just be floating around the indies by themselves at this point. Like, they should be signed. But this match is great. I mean, I know there's no love lost between you and Ava Lawless, but you know, there is a fact. if you want to know more, go ahead and check out the interview on Astrid's YouTube page, Astrid Asks. I believe it's episode 8. I think
one
it's
of the
the
early
8.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the earlier ones, 7 or 8, I think it is. The Ava Lawless one, where the interview happened because you tried to interview somebody else before her, and she called you out on Twitter because of it, which made me instantly a fan. It just instantly made me a fan of Ava Lawless. But yeah, this match took just over 14 minutes, which I thought was great. It's the longest singles match on the card. And I call it a singles match. It's a fatal 4-way, but it's still essentially a singles match. It's an elimination match. I thought it was great. It was a fantastic time. Everybody did great. This is where the intermission happened, seemingly. Because when we come back to Billie Starkz herself taking on Dreya Mitchell. These are 2 names that I am familiar with. I had not seen Dreya Mitchell work yet, but I've known the name, I've heard the name, and I know that she is absolutely sensational. And this match did not disappoint as Billie Starkz took on Dreya Mitchell. But Ashley, we got to get your thoughts on this one. What'd you think?
Oh my god, I Dreya is another one that I had seen online quite a bit, but this is the first time I get to watch like a full length match. And I'm glad it was somebody like Billie that's a veteran that has that experience that she does. But again, Dreya, what impresses me is that she has her character down as well. Like the way she's such a heel during this match. She's so confident and so cocky and like that kind of attitude. It's like I love it. Even when we to begin the match when she like Billie does her first shoulder tackle and then Dreya looks at her like that's not happening. It's like I'll let you try again. You can do it again. And then she lets her try again. And it's like no, they don't have to. It's like one more time. You can do it one more time. You got this. And then by the time she does it, Dreya's able to reverse it onto her. And again, she looked so impressive during this whole match. She's another one that plays off of the crowd really well too, like trying to get them to rile up and yell stuff while she's wrestling too. So I thought it was pretty interesting overall. She's able to showcase her power here in so many aspects. The follow away slam, the electric chair that she does too. Like there's so many times during this match that she's able to showcase herself as a powerhouse here. And I was one of those like if for anything, if you don't know any of the names on this card, for me, Dreya was one of the ones to watch for sure. She that confidence that she has, again, she has it down to a T. The way she's being a heel and how confident she is. So I love that more than anything. Um, Not surprised that Billie wins. She's the one that's like a bigger name here, being sent to Ring of Honor and AEW. But again, her and Dreya had really great chemistry. You think about it that way, it's like it's another one that makes you think like I don't think they'll really mesh really well because the way Billie wrestles versus Dreya's power, but their chemistry was really great too.
Yeah, I think Billie could wrestle anybody and anybody if given the opportunity. I don't think there's any style that she can't make work. This is sensational. Dreya just obviously just stood out. Absolutely. The look, the gimmick, the whole nine. Like you said, she has it all. I have no notes in this match because I just sat there and watched it. For 12 minutes, I stopped working and just sat there and watched this match. This was sensational from top to bottom. You can't. There's no bad spot in this match. There's no bad issue in this match. Both of these girls know exactly who they are, what they can do, and they know how to make sure that everybody comes out looking better out of it. Dreya Mitchell loses this match and comes out looking like an absolute freaking rock star. Just absolutely sensational. Of course, we'll talk more about Billie Starkz in 2 weeks when we go ahead and talk about the fact that she's the promoter of Girl Fight Wrestling. So it'll be fun to go ahead and talk about that and the show that she put on there when we get to it in 2 weeks. We now move on to what I thought was going to be an interesting match that turned out to be the comedy match of the night, which I wasn't expecting when I saw the names on this list. I was not expecting comedy, but it is indeed what we got, as we got the punk rock Pussycats of Allie, Katch, and Jody Threat taking on Casey Diamond and Kingsley. Oh, I loved it. Longest match of the night by far because everybody was having way too much fun to end this match. From top to bottom, everybody just does what they need to do perfectly. Casey Diamond and Kingsley are just sensational at being chicken shit heels who will cheat every chance they get, but also bitch, whine, moan, and complain anytime anything doesn't happen the way they want. I mean, and it's Allie, Katch, and Jody threat. Like, seeing Jody having fun isn't something I've seen in like I know she's not like the most serious professional wrestler. She's not Lance Storm. Let me be serious for a moment here. but she's not far off of that. Like, she's just so good. Yes, I mean, yes, Jody Threat. We love Jody Threat. Her in TNA right now is sensational. But like, also a tag team that has a name that I never knew that Allie and Jody were a tag team. But to have
that's the only part I didn't know. Yeah. But for me, what gave it away is the fact that I know Kingsley. And Kingsley reminded me of great LJ. So once I saw Kingsley say, I knew this was a comedy match. That was my one clue. But yeah, like you, I didn't know that Jody and Allie were a tag team, but it's fun to see Jody having fun and not just be the serious person that she usually is. It was so different, and it was something fresher for me to watch. With Allie there, that's another clue that gave me away that was going to be more of a comedy match as well.
But Allie can do serious if she has. Like, if they want Allie to be serious Allie, she'll do serious Allie. But also, she was tag team partners with Effie. You don't work with Effie for better part of a year in GCW and not learn how to do the comedy thing a bit.
Yeah. But for me, the one that really stands out here, sorry, it's Kingsley for me, because I love the fact that she's singing not only from her entrance, but even during the match, she's like, I want her, and then she starts singing that the whole time until she's able to get the person that she wants in the ring. But again, I love the not only the comedy here, but the timing they have with each other is really well, because there's a one point that Kingsley's able to, I think she pulled Jody, if I'm not mistaken, she pulled Jody from the apron. But then Kacey's able to take advantage in the middle of the ring as well from the referee. So it's like the timing of doing something like that was really great.
Yeah, this whole match was fantastic. It's the longest match on the card, 15 minutes, and it flew by. At the end of this, I was like, all right, cool. Like, I had a bunch of fun watching this. I was ready for it to end at the 5th. I think you could have chopped a minute or so off this and it would have been just fine. But I don't hate 15 minutes. It didn't outstay its welcome, but it was definitely getting to that point. But then again, I wanted the main event. I wanted Alexia Nicole versus Kristara. I wanted that match, and I wanted it now. And so that was the only thing that was working against this match. But this was, and again, the only real comedy match on the entire card. And again, wrestling is, with how divisive the newest WWE debut was at Elimination Chamber, it's nice to remember that there's a little bit of everything for everybody. And there's spots on the card for something like this. Yes, you've been cursed. Apparently, I've been cursed.
I'm not cursing you.
Okay, I hope not.
I don't do that.
No, you don't have a jar of teeth and look for human monies?
No, we don't do any of that in this house.
You don't have demand housings?
No, I don't.
Okay. But anyways, I love the fact that there's room for... go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot this part too. That there's also one point that Kingsley's also fixed her injury to the referee to take advantage too, and then she's able to she starts dancing the way she does. The referee's like, "Weren't you hurt a minute ago?" And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. But I love more than anything, not only her comedy, but her facial expressions. Another thing that really stands out during the match, the way she looks at the referee, and she's able to it's like, oh yeah, I'm injured now, and that her partner's able to take advantage of that. I love her 619 too, by the way, before I forget.
I love, and I want to bring it up now because we haven't talked about it, and we should have talked about it throughout the entire night. The reaction of the crowd to each individual referee, and I say reaction, hatred, because they booed each and every one of them. But how the referees are part of the show without being part of the show. Like, they're a piece of the match, but they're not getting in the way of the match. Like, there's one referee who works for a 3-letter company who people always talk about how this person gets in the way of the matches by presenting her personality. And while I disagree with those people, I don't think she's that bad at it. I like when she introduces herself into it. I know it irks a lot of people when she does that. I liked how the referees here did that. I thought that they knew the time and place to do all of these things. Speaking of the devil, she shall appear. Hi, Ella. We just talked about you just a couple minutes ago. Thank you for joining us. We greatly appreciate it. But no, I did love how we had all the referees kind of playing into the jokes, being part of the match, being part of the gimmick, and just enjoying themselves and having fun. It wasn't just, I'm a referee. I mean, no, yes, of course you're an angel. It's just
no, I texted her so she knew.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, she just popped in.
I was like, I kept watching Kingsley. Every time I watch Kingsley, I just thought about Ella. So I had to tell her that I was thinking about her because I saw Kingsley.
Ella, if you could create a new phrase that doesn't deal with the, speak of the devil and they shall appear and it's angel, I'll use it. But until then, I'm going to use the cliches that work because, God damn it, if I don't have cliches, what else am I going to do? Rant? I don't do that anymore. Much. Isn't it amazing when you take me away from WWE how I no longer have to rant? Well, that belongs to Joe Hendry and Thea Hale.
Oh, not Thea Hale.
It was her for a while until they stopped doing that too because they were like, we need to position Joe at the top of the card. And Thea Hale's not top of the card quality. I like Thea more than I used to, but not enough. Anyways, speaking of things that I do like at the top of the card, Alexia Nicole defeats Kristara to become the first ever C4 Women's Champion. It's mine now. Okay. That's fine. It is yours now. We'll call the patent office and make sure we get it for you. Talk to me about Kristara losing the C4 Women's Championship in this debut of the title. What'd you think?
This was again another fun match. I did like because it's one of my favorite moves, and I'm upset that nobody does it now. I love the Muda lock, and Alexia does it to her at one point, and I loved how Emma used to do it, so I missed that. So it was nice to see it again. I like that at one point Alexia brings in the door, and I like to say, it's like once you bring it in, you go through it because there's no other point. So I like the fact that she brings in the door. They're like, oh, it's an ODQ. I'm like, oh, I would have liked to have heard that before. I don't know if I missed that part. I don't know if you can tell me if I missed it from the announcer, but I didn't know there was going to be like an ODQ sort of match for this one. I expected it more for the 4-way elimination matches, but not for this one, the main event here. But I like how at the end, she goes through the door with a spear from Kristara, and it looked pretty brutal too. I like this part too because after the spear, Kristara does a Shining Wizard, and I thought, here it is, Kristara just wins. And it's like, as my partner likes to say, it's like 2.999 because of what Alexia kicks out of the last second, and I couldn't believe it. I was waiting for the bell to ring, and then all of a sudden I noticed it didn't. So I went, oh, she really kicked out. That was interesting. But I like how she takes that little bit of energy she has left, and she does a pile driver, and she does it to get the win at the end. And again, both of them really showcase themselves during this match. So that was another fun one for me. As I say, it's hard for me to pick like the match for the night because I really enjoyed every single match for different reasons tonight.
Yeah, there's no match that stands out much more than the rest. If gun to my head, I have to pick a match, it's Billie versus Dreya. Just because Billie's so good. Like she's on. There are some fantastic women on this card. Allie, Katch, Alexia Nicole, Kristara, Ava, Gabby. When we talked about the Gabby Forza match, we talked about how she's ready to be signed. She's done, signed, sealed, and delivered. Just sign her already. Nobody on this card is on Billie's level. Nobody on this card is on her level. She's just that at her age to be as good as she is. And people forget how young she is and how good she is at what she does. She's on another level. And not only does she understand it from the in-ring point of view with Girl Fight Wrestling that Ella and Jose were at, and we'll talk about, like I said, in 2 weeks we'll be talking about that show. She's getting it from that side too. She's learning so much from Athena on every single aspect of this wrestling business. She's going to be a force to be reckoned with in multiple ways. the more she grows and the better she gets. She can only, shockingly, she can only get better. She's good enough now to compete with anybody, and she can only get better. I love the tournament final match. I think the reason why I think it's a no DQ match is because I don't want it to end any other way than having a new champion. So they're basically just like, whatever happens as long as we just get a champion. And I like how it's just the two of them. Like, I don't know if any of them have people who work for them and run in for them in factions and whatnot, but I liked how it was just the two of them. Nobody else throughout the whole night who didn't get their win came back to try to even the score and get the win. I love using the door because I think it makes sense. With everything's on the line, we'll do whatever it takes to get the win. I think that was really smart and inventive. And again, 13 minutes in and out. This match doesn't overstay its welcome. This whole card doesn't overstay its welcome. Gun to my head, Billie Starkz is the match of the night, but it could have been 3 of the match. This main event could have been it. The Billie Starkz Dreya Mitchell match could have been it. In my mind, it could have been Tara Zepp versus Tiara James in that opening match. I thought they really had a fantastic match there. Obviously, all of these women are ones to watch. But if I have to pick 2, it's obviously Kingsley and Tara Zepp. Those are the 2. I didn't know anything about them. I will never forget them now. They're ingrained in my mind now. But all of these women are fantastic. And again, I love that we get to, and we stumbled into, we didn't realize when we were booking the shows for March until yesterday when we were booking the final 2 that we had the opportunity. Yes, I noticed it, but I was going to
say, there's a lot of wheezing here. That was you.
But I noticed the opportunity that we had Women's History Month to be able to just go all women's shows for the entire month. Because we knew we were doing Girl Fright. We had this show ready to go for this week. And it's like, we have 2 big shows that we've been talking about covering that both will cover the other 2 weeks of the shows. And I'm like, we can just go all women's shows all month long. And I love that. I love that there's enough women's wrestling out there that's prominent with great women's wrestlers that we can cover 4 weeks of women's wrestling heading into WrestleMania weekend and not feel like we're missing anything. There's 2 shows that we talked about covering that we're not going to cover now that had great cards that I watched. I've already watched the PWJ show, the Pro Wrestling Junkie show. I think I've watched the first match of that. There was the Blitzkrieg show that I wanted to cover because Javier Bernal was back in town and I wanted to cover that one. And then there was the Ballroom Blitz, which was 4.5 hours, which is too long for Ashley because God forbid Ashley, watch a 4-hour show anymore. That had 3 women's matches on it with names that Astrid loves. So I'm like, I thought I had her with that one, but no. I even had 2 Puerto Rican wrestlers on the show and it wasn't enough. Like, I tried. I really Santana in the main event. Mercedes Martinez on the show. Like, I did. If that show can't get covered, I don't know what can. But no, Ballroom Blitz. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. That show is fantastic. My match of the year candidate is on that show. Fancy Ryan Clancy falling to Santana, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Santana, in the main event of that show. They tore that building down. It was sensational. Yeah, it's so fun to have so much professional wrestling that we can watch. And from a promotion that we've both heard of, like C4 isn't a promotion that we don't know. We've both heard of them. We've seen their shows. We're going to cover a couple of their shows from here and there. The Big Chill, the show before this, was one that we had thrown out there as a potential show to cover. And there's just so much good independent wrestling that we just didn't get to it. Where you can find C4 Wrestling. You can find them at c4wrestling.com. You can find them on their Twitter at C4 Wrestling. You can also find them on Independent Wrestling, IWTV. That's where all of their shows are broadcast, both live and on VOD after the fact. So if you want to catch them live, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to catch it, a day or 2 later on VOD, they'll be available there too. Commentary is fantastic. The venue was fantastic. How many CPA shirts do you give this show, Astrid?
It was out of 5, right? Yeah.
It's always out of 5 because CPA can't put on more than 5 shirts.
I mean, he could try, but you never know.
He's a small man, and those shirts are very tight, Astrid. I don't know if he can fit another shirt in there.
This is gonna be not surprising for a lot of people. I'm gonna give it 5 shirts.
I'm gonna give it 4.5. It wasn't perfect, but it was really, really good.
Maybe 5.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I truly love this show. I'm very glad that we got to cover it. I also love that they reached out to comment to our Twitter post when I posted it last night that we were covering it. I did love that they commented and go, "We hope you love the show. I wish more independent pro wrestling show promotions would do that for us. We'd greatly appreciate things like that." So definitely go ahead and give them a check out. Astrid, tell the good people where they can find you in the coming weeks.
You can find me again next week with this one for another review. For me is also on my YouTube channel, the only one. We just did a review for Scream 7 that just came out this past weekend. Another Killer Cuts episode. So if you like Scream, we talk a lot during that one because we're both fanatics. So you can tell by the time frame on the video.
You guys like Scream? Really? I didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know about that? Yeah, other than that, you can find my Twitter's Astrid Bizarro and my Instagram and Threads AstridBizarro20. And that's about it for me now.
All right, so if people don't want to watch the whole review, yay or nay, was Scream 7 good or bad? Were the critics right or the fans right?
I'm in between because I enjoyed it, but I can see where the discussions are coming from because there were some parts that I gave it, was it like an 8 out of 10? I think that's what I gave it, if I remember correctly.
That's more than in the middle.
I know, but I'm torn about some parts of the discussions. But again, you definitely have to get more details about it in the video itself.
Absolutely. For me, you can find me at the usual places, EdFries12584 on Twitter. Here every Tuesday with the Natural Astrid Bizarro as we keep moving through. Oh shit, it's March. Daredevil's coming soon. We'll have weekly reviews of Daredevil. I should message Peggy and Andre and remind them that that's coming. I think that starts next week. Wow, that one stuck up on me. I didn't remember that. Yeah, Marvel Talk will be back real soon. Like we said, all women's wrestling. So next week's show will be either Girls Who Run the World from Athena with MPX or Pro Wrestling Eve, Riot Girls of Wrestling's Wrestle Queendom. We're going to try to record both of them so that we can kind of pick and choose. Whichever of those two shows we don't cover next week, they will be covered in 3 weeks from now or 2 weeks from that show after we cover Girl Fight Wrestling on the 17th. So the entire month. By the way, also, we're all going to be wishing Astrid a happy birthday next week on the show because it is indeed getting close to Astrid's birthday. So either next week or the week after when we have Jose here, we'll figure it out which one. We can do it for the entire month of March. That can be even more fun. We can just say happy birthday to Astrid every time because it's Astrid's birthday month.
Chapter 35.
Chapter 35. Oh. I still feel so old when especially with Ella J in the chat, where he always makes me feel like I'm old as dirt every time she talks about like things from her childhood or things that I remember from professional wrestling. And she's like, I wasn't born yet. And I'm like, but we love Ella. Ella's, if you haven't seen Ella J, let's see. Do we have a banner for Ella J? She's here. Let's find it. We really don't have one? Here we go. Wrestling Gal. There we go. Go ahead and check out Ella J and all these fun things. It's Wrestling Gal. It's Ella J. All those fun places because she is absolutely fantastic. She had a couple interviews drop recently. I know I retweeted one the other day. I think she had one just dropped today, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
If it hadn't dropped today, it's dropping very soon, and she's promoting it today. So definitely go ahead and make sure you give her a check out on that. You can obviously find our local establishment at Ole Podcasts on all of your favorite social medias and our local establishment on both YouTube and Twitter. Remember that we are a YouTube partner now on the YouTube side. So if you want to leave a super chat, we would greatly appreciate that. We do love those. They help support us so that we can go ahead and continue to afford the StreamYard and the Canva that help make all of these things possible. But for myself, Ole Ed Fries, for Ash Bizarro, this has been Taking Over, and we will see you next week with another fantastic women's professional wrestling show. Catch you later. Bye. I am in misery.